Powell is a creativity coach and a lifestyle mentor like you will not find anywhere else. When you've got little dreams, you go to a coach. When you've got big dreams, when you've got impossible dreams, when you think you cannot make it, that's when you go to Karen Powell. Karen is a gentle, kind, and compassionate coach. And I say that because it doesn't matter what space you're in when you come there. You are perfectly allowed to remain in that space. And the rest just happens. You're given simple tools that you can use. Karen believes that the simplicity is the key to joy, that gratitude is the key to everything. And now, ladies, she invites you and she invites me, she invites us all to take a moment to invite the impossible. Please put your hands together for Karen Powell.
I love to start with the centering. It helps me and it helps you. And what the centering is, it's nothing weird. We're not gonna chant or meditate or levitate. Unless you want to, then please feel free. But we're just going to get into our bodies. Because if we stay in our heads, and I think most of us are in our heads right now, right? And when we're in our heads, all we're doing is we're running through what we already know. Been there, done that. Oh, this is what's going to happen next. Oh, I know this is, I can see what's coming. Or, geez, why did she wear white? I mean, look, she can see right through with the sun and everything. What the heck? So I need to get out of my head because that is just we can edit that out. So we're going to all I want you to do, can we stand up? Please, let's stand up and just put your hand, either one, doesn't matter, one hand on your heart and the other one on your stomach or just above your stomach, your center. And all you need to do, it's nothing complicated. Just take a breath that's a little bit deeper than what you normally take. And another one. And I'm going to need one more, so go ahead. So for today, if I can invite you to see if you won't be able to stay here, but remind yourself to come back here from time to time and just sit in this space because it is really going to enrich your experience today with what we're doing now and also what the other speakers are going to be doing today. So thank you. You can go ahead and have a seat. So some of the stories that I'm going to tell you, your brain is not going to believe. So that's why I wanted to get you here. Your brain's not going to like some of the things that I say. But I don't mind. I don't even mind if you don't believe the stories that I tell you, because I really don't thrive on people believing in me. I thrive on people believing in themselves. Today is all about passion and power and perfection. And I am so glad they didn't put in possibility. Because like Afra said, possibility is just kind of boring, isn't it? If it's possible, then just go do it. Right? Or if it's hard and it's possible, then just hire a life coach and have her help you do it. Just get it done. I love impossible. Impossible is where it's at. Impossible is now it starts getting juicy, nice and juicy. And I've seen way too many impossible things move to not start there. So when I run my workshops, I'll say, so anybody share your goals and your dreams? So we'll have, I'll share their goals, their dreams, their possibilities and all of that. And then I'll say, that's great. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, now who would like to share their impossible dream? And then there's silence and fidgeting, more silence. What does she mean, impossible? I'll share my impossible dream. And then 90% of the time they fold their hands and they'll say, here's my impossible dream. And then they'll tell me all the reasons why they can't get it. So they'll tell their impossible dream, and then they'll say, and here's the reasons why I can't have it, Karen. What are you going to do about it now? Aren't you glad I shared that one? Let me tell you a little story. And it all starts with a circle. That's why this was amazing. I did not plan this circle. So I love that this was set up for me. Because I'm all about the circle. I'm not all about the base. I'm all about the circle. And so there was a woman who came to me and said, my life is it's boring, it's unfulfilling, I'm not into my job anymore, I've been doing it for a while, it's served its purpose, I've been there, done that, but I have no other choices, I have no other ideas what I can do. And so I drew a circle. And I said, okay, well, what do you want? And she said, I don't know. And I said, great, because you know what? I don't know is a really good place to start. And then I said, well, what don't you like? What don't you want? That she could tell me. So we wrote a lot of those things on the outside of the circle just to get those out of her brain. Just flesh those out so we can just put those aside. And then I said, well, you don't know what you want. That's fine. That's a perfect place to start. I don't know what I want. I said, just tell me what you like. About anything, not about working or anything or a career, just what do you like? And she said, well, I like nature. Okay, so we wrote nature. I like science. Okay. She said, I love being outside. Okay. I love being in a laboratory. Okay. She loves science. We wrote that in. I love putting on my little white lab coat and looking through a microscope. Very specific. Okay, wrote that in. I love the idea of helping endangered species, saving an endangered species, like a Jane Goodall or something. Cool, we wrote that in. And then she said, and I said, and if you could be anywhere in the world, where would you be? She said, well, I'm in Namibia, so. And I said, no, I know you're in Namibia. Where would you, if you could be anywhere, we're talking impossible here, just humor me. Where would you like to be and spend your days and your time? And she said, okay, white sandy beaches. Okay, white sandy beaches. What kind of water? Turquoise. Okay, let's put turquoise in there. I said, cold or warm? Like Swaka kind of cold? No, warm. Warm, okay, warm turquoise water and white sandy beaches. We wrote that in. I said, you know what, just take this home. Oh, and I said, what kind of people do you like working with? That was another one. What kind of people do you like working with or being around? I said. She said, I love being around tourists because I love how they love, they're excited to learn new things and to see new things. And I love showing them things and educating. And so we wrote all this stuff down inside the circle, and then I gave it to her. I said, your only homework now is just go home, and before you go to bed at night, just look at the circle. And just feel how it feels in here, not in your brain, because your brain will say, that's ridiculous. Go to your body and ask your body how it feels. Ask your heart. So she did that. I said, just before you go to bed, just look at it and feel it. So a couple weeks passed, and she came back for another session, and she walked through the door, and she handed me a printout of an email. Whoops. She had a very kind of ghostly look on her face, and she said, you are not going to believe this. She handed me the email, and it's a friend of hers was thinking of her. She didn't tell him she was looking for a new job or anything. He said, I was just thinking about you, and I saw this job opening, and I thought of you, and I thought you might be interested. And he's not even living in Namibia. He's just someone she hasn't talked to in years. And there was a position for working with an endangered species, the leatherback turtles, at a research station. The person would have to do research and also be outside. They have to interface with tourists who are in a nearby lodge that like to come and learn about the project. And it's in the Seychelles. Oh, wait, I didn't tell you if she got the job yet. Don't clap yet. What do you think? Yes, she got the job. She got the job. So she sent me, and I've got the photos to prove it, okay? If anybody wants, proof. There are photos of her with the big turtles, and she's on the white sandy beaches, and there's turquoise water. I can't tell you if it's warm or cold, but I'm pretty sure it's warm. And there are tourists there that she's teaching and showing the project. Now, that's just one story. I've got so many, but they've only given me 45 minutes today. That's just not enough time. Impossible is really relative. I used to work with kids in Kommersdal who were staying at a safe house. And they were homeless, street kids, and they were just put in the safe house because they didn't have anywhere else to go. And I used to just come there weekly and give them little life skills workshops and things. And I started doing the circle with them. And I had them write, I'd have to push them to wish for things. So what do you guys want? They say, I want shoes. Okay, what kind of shoes do you want? Do you want old, torn up shoes? No. Would you like brand new shoes? Sure, yeah. Can I have soccer shoes? Okay, put soccer shoes in there. The other one said, I would like some new clothes. I said, would you like old secondhand clothes or would you like some brand new clothes? And he said, I would like some new clothes, please. Okay, write that down. And then another kid said, I'd like to see the sea. I've never been to the ocean. And so we wrote that in. So as I would come weekly, before I could even get in the door, these kids would come running one by one each week. A new one would come out. Miss Karen, guess what? I got soccer shoes, brand new ones. And then the next time, the head of the house, he said, we just got this amazing shipment of brand new boys' clothes from overseas, not used ones like we normally do, brand new one. And then the one boy came to me and he said, guess what? Our class, and this was one of the lucky ones who was placed in a school. Not all the boys were able to go to school, but he was able to be placed in a school. And he said, guess what? Our class is the only class in our school that's going on a trip to Swakopmund. So my impossible, when I was a kid, was sitting as a little girl watching I love nature, watching these nature shows, Jacques Cousteau and the Brazilian rainforest and Africa. But whenever I'd see the Africa ones, something would happen. And I would sit at the edge of my seat and I would feel something here. I'd feel something that felt like passion. But that was impossible, to be able to be in a place like that when I was sitting in a snowstorm in Chicago. In my 20s and in my 30s, I suffered from anxiety attacks where I would just, on the outside, everything was fine. On the inside, I was silently suffering from these attacks that would just come out of nowhere in very embarrassing ways. And as I worked my way up in the corporate world, it got more and more uncomfortable. I can remember one time in my 20s, sitting at a reception of a friend's wedding, and his sister stood up and she gave this beautiful toast and a beautiful speech about her brother. And I thought to myself, gosh, that must be amazing to be able to stand up in front of 50 or 60 people and not be nervous and not have anxiety. That's impossible because I could never do that. I couldn't even be in front of 2 or 3 people, not 2 or 300, 2 or 3 without feeling. I'm not talking about fear and nervousness like we all feel. Anxiety. That was impossible. So something happens when you declare that you've had enough of something. And for me, something was just not right in my body. And I just said to myself, you know what? I'm tired of this. Something's not right. This can't be right. So I declared, I want to feel good in my own skin. That was my declaration. I just want to feel good in my own skin. Now, something happens when you make a declaration like that. Do you know what? The sky opened and a thunderbolt came down. No, I'm joking. That doesn't happen anymore. That was just back in the day of the burning bushes and things. That doesn't happen now. What happened was what I like to call the dance. The dance between your impossible dreams. That's impossible to feel good in my own skin. That just felt like so far away from anything I could ever do. To that dance between that and my deepest fears. So when you've got an impossible dream, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's going to bring up all of those deepest fears. But there's a purpose for that because you get to heal them. Yay. And without that dance, that anxiety would have stayed in. It just would have bounced around my body forever if I wouldn't had just declared, I want something that's impossible. Help me. I don't know how that works, but help me, and I'll let go. I didn't figure out how to do it, but it just then happened to me. So I'd like to invite somebody up on the stage now who is just such a inspiring person to me. And she was, in her own words, had nothing left to lose. She has now just been the recipient of a world award for Best Day Spa on the continent of Africa for Nomad African Spa. And she has so kindly agreed to just say a few words just to kind of give you a little reference of some of the tools and the things that can move you into your biggest dreams and things that you would never, ever even dream of. So I'd like to invite Mariana Quenye to the stage with me.
Okay, good morning, ladies. I'm Mary Ann, as Karen introduced me. So I'd like to start with when she says, when you have nothing left to lose. What does that really mean? Well, I think I come from a background of a charmed life. I'm the first black female pilot of this country, so I was flying the world. I had a marriage. I was driving the latest cars. I was living in a fab house. So I think I was okay. And what felt like one day my eyes opened up and all of that was gone. I had my car repossessed right in front of me while driving. I came here trying to build the biggest wellness resort that Namibia has seen, 9 million down. So my marriage was gone. My marriage was also finished. When I say I had nothing to lose, I had nothing. And I met Heidi here one day, trying to delay going home. So I was roaming around and I bumped into her and she's like, how's the project going? You know, when are you opening? And I said, Heidi, this and that and the other. And she said, have you heard of Karen? I'm like, no, who's that? And she said, okay, I'll mail you the details. And it was about a weekend workshops that she was offering. And I had literally, I was using that as an escape because I didn't want to go to my normal that I thought I'll be having a mom who's bugging me about my marriage and this and that. But nonetheless, I said, okay, I signed up. And as I attended this workshop, something physically moved within me. And that sparked my curiosity. And I had to know, I had to learn more. I had to find out what is this dance between the fear and your impossible dream. And the way she speaks, that's how she handles it. You can come to her in your ugliest self, ugliest self, and somehow through her gentleness, she'll just guide you. And my impossible dream was in wellness. I want to bring African wellness to the map, the way Asian wellness has been the trend. I said, no, we have exactly the same things here in Africa, so I'm going to put it on the world map. Now that's impossible, as you might think. And through the journey, through the work that we did, I learned to trust myself. And I can tell you that my life has transformed to levels I can't even imagine. When I think about it, I think, wow, I think it's impossible. But yeah, one of the examples is, as she rightfully said, it was not even on my radar. I didn't even know that these awards exist. And there I am. I mean, I'm a World Spa owner. Next month, about around this time, I'll be standing on a podium with the Dalai Lama in Mexico. So, yeah, trust what she says. Trust that little feeling and pursue whatever that is for you. And I think there's greatness for all of us, whatever that industry is. Forget what's in the head, that what's people gonna say. They said the same thing. How do you leave flying for massaging? What's massaging? I got that a lot, and I still get people don't know my name. They just call me Pilot. So I had to I had to move away from that and really stand strong within myself. And those are the tools that I got to stand firm and believe in what I want to do, what makes me happy, what makes me dance. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
I can't wait for those slippers.
Yeah, I can put.
Thank you, Marianne. That was beautiful. There is something to say about not watering down your dreams. And Marianne never watered down her dreams, but she let go of what the end result needed to be in her mind. And then life somehow gave her something even bigger that she would have never even imagined. I think if you water down your dreams, you water down that impossible thing to make it, well, let's make it a little bit more doable. I think it's very patronizing to God. Hey? It's like, God, you know how to do all this stuff, with all the galaxies and the stars and the nature and the birds and everything. And I've got this dream, but it's probably a little bit too big for you. So let me make it a little easier for you. Don't do that. Because when you take that passion out and water it down, you're actually killing it. You're just pushing it away and you're blocking it. So there are 2 baskets that are going around the room. The spiral, the energy spiral. And one of them is a basket of seeds. Please take a seed and hold it. And the other one is a basket of affirmations. And just take one, and you can just don't find the one for you. Just put your hand in and just let the one come that's supposed to come, and that's for you to keep. And that's your little message maybe for today. So even if you don't know what you want, I'll bet you do know how you'd like to feel. How would you like to feel? Light. That's beautiful. Free. Let's hear some more. Shout them out. Powerful. Successful. Good about yourself. Yeah. Happy. Healthy. Empowered. Beautiful. Peaceful. Love that. So think about the word that you would like to feel, this feeling that you would like to feel, and just put it in your heart right now. And I'm going to tell you a little story that happened just a couple weeks ago. I was struggling with something that was just a tech thing. I'm not a techie person, but I'm trying to learn. So that combination is just, kind of not fun. But I was really wanting to get something done, a project of mine, and I couldn't figure something out. And every day I would go and I would get so frustrated with it. And I kept showing up and like getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, breathe, calm, peace. And then I'd go and get frustrated again. And then one day I just said to myself, Karen, what are you doing? This thing obviously doesn't want to happen right now. So just put it on the back burner and just leave it. And if something feels like a struggle, just move away from it. And so I declared in that time, in that space, right then and there, I declared to myself and to the space, I said, I declare joy now. I invite joy to come into my life and sit with me. So I took my laptop and I closed it. I stepped away. And the phone rang. And I picked up the phone and I said, hello. And I heard, hi, Karen, this is Joy. Do you remember me? And I said, yes, Joy, I do remember you. And she said, I need to come see you. And I said, that would be awesome, Joy. I would love for you to come see me. So we made an appointment. Later that afternoon, I was at the grocery store. And I heard my WhatsApp notification go. And I took my phone out of my bag and I swiped it. And there was a message from another woman named Joy. Karen, I need to come and see you. I know you don't believe me, but I don't mind. I just want you to believe in yourselves. But I promise that's a true story. So I'd like you to know, can we stand again? And put our hand on our hearts and our other hand in our center. And think about what is your impossible. Muster that impossible out of your heart because it's sitting there. It might not be right on top. If it's not right on top, that's okay. If it's deeper in, that's okay. You'll get to it someday. But there is something there right now. I promise you, even if you don't think you know. There is something in your heart right now. Just see if you can feel it. See if you can feel, maybe it's a feeling that you'd like to feel in your life. One of those words that we heard, joy or peace or powerful or happy with myself. For me, it was just, I feel good in my own skin. Whatever that word is for you or whatever your impossible is, whatever sits in your heart right now, declare that to yourself silently. Take a deep breath. And as you let it go, say silently to yourself, this or something even better for me comes to me now. And let it go. Thank you.